afternoon. I am Ashley with Ashley's Reads on Twitter, or of Fiction and Fantasy on Instagram. And today I am here straight out of the shower to tell you about our 48-hour weekend readathon. This is a weekend readathon that I tend to do with my friends about once a month or so. These are the people that I met when I first started watching BookTube or getting involved in the bookish community. I tried Becca's Bookathon, and I think that was in September of 2020. I made a bunch of really cool friends who were all either new vloggers or wanting to be new vloggers. People who were all at like the same pace, like trying to get started. And so we have somehow all successfully managed to continue to be content creators throughout everything that happened last year and this year, and I am so grateful because it's been so motivational to see people posting videos and updating their stats on Goodreads and all sorts of things like that. So these are some of my favorite people on BookTube, and I am so excited to get to do this readathon again. I will also be doing this readathon with my friend Courtney, and my brother Noah will be joining us a little on the sidelines. As always, hour 0 is my worst hour because we're already 30 minutes in. I am filming this with natural lighting, no light on in the room, and you are currently on top of a trash can on top of my windowsill. So that's like about where we're at right now. I will be reading 5 books at a time because I have multitasking issues, and I will also be doing one self-care thing and one productive thing per hour. So I'm going to go into that. For example, this is hour 0 right now, and so for my productive thing, I published a book review of Caraval, which I had read in March. And for my self-care item, I am currently in the middle of my skin routine. Okay, so the first book that I will be reading is Cast in Firelight by Dana Swift. I am about 50% of the way done with this book. Oh, and that is a book from April because I was reading it for MAYsianathon as an under-hype book. And then the second one that I will be reading is Wild Women and the Blues by Denny S. Bryce. This one is a book that I received from Bookish First. It is the last book that I currently have from Bookish First, although I will have one on its way as of Monday. So I'm hoping to finish this. I am around 25% done, and this was also for MAYsianathon last month. The third book that I am currently working on is on a Google Doc. It is actually a beta read. It is called Fern and Flame by Brittany and Georgia Dixon, and that one I am 40% of the way through. So I'm working on that one. I did that also for MAYsianathon, but I've only been reading like a chapter a day so that I can make like good comments and take my time. So I will try and read that in each rotation this weekend just to see if I can at least get to 50% this weekend. And then 2 ebooks, so we'll pop them up here. I am reading Spark to Shadow by Atima Kim. This is, it may be an ARC. I think it's an ARC, but I'm reading it for a book tour, I believe, with TBR and Beyond. And this one, it needs to be read by, I think my tour date is June 5th. So I am already 75% done. I can't believe it's already outpaced the remaining April books, but it's very interesting. And then I am also reading / listening to Where Dreams Descend by Janella and this one is and I'm reading this book as the book of the month pick with Shelf This Book Club, run by Bailey, who is also one of my friends in this readathon, and I will be joining her on our, I think it's Google Hangout, I'm not really sure. So I'm calling this hour 0 and the next one will be hour 1. I don't know if that's mathematically correct, but that's how I'm doing it in my head. So I will be on video sprints with everyone. I might include a little bit of our sprints, we'll see. That's everything that I'm reading, and again, I may update you all at the end of the weekend. This could be the only clip, or maybe I'll include hourly updates or like me doing self-care. Who knows? Who knows? I look forward to maybe updating you guys. Hour 1 is over, and I made it 40% of the way through with this one, with Wild Women and the Blues, and I am almost to 80% in Spark to Shadow, and it's gotten really good, and my Kindle died. But I'm charging it, and hopefully it turns back on really quickly. I am going to switch and read my beta read of Fern and Flame for like a section or so, and then I will listen to Where Dreams Descend while I make lunch. I finished my skincare routine and I got some hair serum. My productive task for this hour will be making lunch. So I am currently hanging out with Bailey and Martine and Nessa, but she just went to the store. And I charged my Kindle just enough to finish the chapter of Spark to Shadow. So I am 78% done now. It was really funny. I don't know, I just really like, a lot of times in the books that I've been reading lately, like even if the romance is the main aspect, it's all about like just romance only, if that makes sense. But this is like really showing them being friends first. So maybe I like enemies to friends to lovers best. But it's really great, and it's really nice to just see them like hanging out and being like platonic. Well, it's not platonic, but like, I don't know, it was good. I'm really surprised by how much I enjoyed this book. I'm chilling in bed because I have to charge my Kindle and also my laptop and my phone. I'm reading Fern to Flame right now, which is my beta read, and I just finished my lunch. Ignore my messy nightstand. I just finished my lunch. I had stir fry that I made with Michael last night, and it was really good. So yes, that is where we are at. So that was my self-care act, and my productivity is that I went downstairs and washed some dishes while I made lunch. So that's it. I didn't get much done in anything, but it's really fun hanging out with my friends, and Michael said it looks like it's going to storm, so it might give me a rainy readathon weekend, which is like chef's kiss, honestly. So I'm very excited. That's pretty much it for now. I'm gonna get back to reading. Bye. Hey, it is hour 3 check-in. Okay, we're moving now. This is weird. I've read a section of everything except for Where Dreams Descend. So, and I didn't do anything productive the last hour. So I think I am going to read that section, listen to it while I get some dishes or laundry done. Not sure whether it's noon or 1 yet, so we're gonna say it's been about 24 hours. I have been reading my little heart out, but I did fall asleep reading my ebook again. I can always tell when I'm falling asleep reading my ebook because there will always be a completely random, like half of a sentence, like he sat down or something, and it's always highlighted. And I don't know why or how I do that, but every time. So at least I know like exactly where I fell asleep. Do you have your wine bottle? It's 1 p.m. You having wine already? But we'll go over what I've been reading. So I don't remember where I was when I started this readathon, so I'm sorry if I've made like 0 progress since yesterday. I am about 50% done with Cast in Firelight. and this is really interesting and it goes very quickly. So because I read like one section or chapter at a time, I always feel like I want to get back to this book because I feel like this segment was too short and I really want to keep reading the next chapter. So I really enjoy that though, because it like motivates me to read other books that are going slower. Since I'm at 50%, I don't want to spoil anything, but I would say that we're very much like into the mistaken identities trope in this book, and it's very interesting, and I'm curious to see how it works out for them. And also, this is the first book I think I've read, at least in the past year, where they actually talk about like just casually like women being on their menstrual cycle, and like in front of men too, and it's like totally, I don't know, normal, and I love that. I would love to see more of that in books. So props to Dana. I am 50% done on this one, which Wild Women in the Blues by Denny S. Bryce, and I know for sure that that's at least farther than I was when I started, because I think I was at 30% yesterday. So this one's getting better. There's nothing wrong with the book. It's just that, so it's the past and present timeline, and I'm still kind of recovering from past and present timelines from books that from last year. But I don't really care about any of the characters except for Honore and her like new kind of like friend that she doesn't want to be her friend. I think her name is Bessie. So whenever we get to Sawyer's, no, I like Lulu, the nurse in the present timeline, but I just don't really care about Sawyer yet, and that feels weird to say because that's my last name. But yeah, I don't really care about him yet in the present timeline. Like, his past sucks. I'm curious, like I'm like mildly interested to see like if we're missing something that happened with his sister. I think maybe we don't know the whole story and it's not like his fault like we think it is, but I'm just not super invested in the present timeline. And I don't know if the love interest in the past timeline, I don't know that it's meant to be a love interest, but whatever he is, I think that it's kind of alluding that he might be, evil isn't the right word, but like he may be abusive if they were to be in a romance. Like, he's just changed a lot negatively, and he may be like a toxic person now compared to like what we know of him in the past timeline. So that's kind of, I'm just trying to figure it out, and it's kind of uncomfortable, and yeah, that's where we're at there. Because I don't know, like it's like it's a trope that I want to root for, but I don't think that I can because I feel like it's supposed to be unhealthy. That makes no sense, but I just really don't know what's going on. And then the next one is Fern and Flame by Brittany Dixon. That is the beta read that I am reading. And I am 50% done with that one now too, which I think I was almost 40% done when I started this. It's very interesting. I'm trying not to talk about that one a lot just because like it's not even an arc yet. So like I don't know, like things could change a lot, and I don't want to like, I don't know. I really enjoy one of the side characters so much. Like, she's barely in the story, and I don't know why I'm obsessed with her. She gives me kind of like this, like, Riverdale is trash. Like, please know that I acknowledge that saying this, but she does give me like the aesthetic of Veronica Lodge, and so I like that. At least I don't like anything else about the show, but the fashion is always so, yes. And then Spark to Shadow, I'm 80-something% done, and that book is wild. Like, this is like Thailand. I think it's all inspired by Thailand. Please correct me if I am wrong. Hopefully I figured that out before the book tour. So it is Thailand meets The Bachelorette meets kind of like, I don't want to say like a Wonder Woman society, but like where it's like a woman dominated society meets dragons, meets zombie demons. It's wild. And meets elemental powers. We need to include that because that's a very fun part of it. Meets slow burn romance. if you told me that, like, going in, I would be like, this book, what? But it's so good. I really enjoy it so far, and I, like, that is, what is, that's the 4th book I'm reading, and the fact that I am already almost done with that book over all of the others, I mean, it really just says that it has longer chapters. It's really good. We have met like a bunch of the characters' family members, and I really like meeting the family members as well. I don't know, it kind of like makes the character more dynamic, so you know like how they see themselves, and then how their friends see them, and how their family sees them, and it's just kind of like all of those identities meshed into one. I really enjoy that in books, and I really like it. I feel like that's hypocritical of me because like I have main characters in a story that I'm writing where their parents are all dead, but it's nice to have that not always be the trope. I need to like reconsider my backstories. But yes, I really like that one. And what is the last book that I'm reading? Oh, Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angelis. So Bailey just got some news in her personal life, which is incredible for her, and we're all very excited. And it also means that the live show is not tomorrow afternoon, but next weekend. Which, to be honest, we're all really excited about that too, because we're all about like 30 to 50% done besides Bailey, so at least that is a relief. But I am almost 40% done. I'm definitely past 35, and I'm finally starting to care about the story. I don't know if this is a romance or like hint of a romance, because I feel like Janella said there was a hint of a romance, but not a romance. And I can't remember if I'm thinking of the wrong book and the wrong author. But I am intrigued by it. It's not exactly enemies to lovers. It's just like something like a wittiness to it. And I find that interesting. Other than that, like we're finally starting to kind of see like the magic in use in this world. And I'm glad that we're finally getting to that. Is a book about magic 40% in. That's a little strange, and it's also strange because it's like it's a different like kind of magic than like I'm used to, like elemental powers and battling it out, like Akatar kind of things, or like cast and firelight kind of things. That's more like what I'm used to. So this magic system is more, from what we're seeing, it's just like parlor tricks kind of, and that's weird for me because that's not what I would normally read. But that doesn't mean it's bad, just different. It's harder to get into. So that's where I'm at. If I already have my books picked out for once I finish Spark to Shadow and whatever my next finished one is. So I will tell you guys about those if I get to it during this readathon. Hey, okay, this is a really quick update. Oh my god, the lighting is so bad. Okay, so I took like a 4-hour break and I went and got caffeine. I'm almost done with Spark to Shadow though, and it is really good. And I can't wait for it to be finished, not only because I'm really curious, like, Atima Kim is not an author I'm familiar with. I don't know if this is their debut novel or not, but I am very intrigued because I feel like with debut authors or with new to me authors, I'm very curious, like, how much pain I should expect to be in. Like, how much are they willing to hurt me? So, like, there is what I would say is, like, obviously the best love interest. Is that the right? Like, obviously the love interest that is, like, implied to be the best, like, match, like, for this person, for obvious reasons that you'll see when reading the book. But I'm curious, like, is this the kind of author where they will string me along for until the sequel or the end of the series? Will the main character marry someone who is not the obvious pick, and then just like end on a cliffhanger? Or is it possible that like one of these love interests will die? Or like how like on a scale of 0 to like feeling like my heart was hit by a car, like how bad is it going to be? So I'm really curious because there's like 8% left. And I don't know if there's any acknowledgements, like if this is an arc or if there's like actual like an epilogue or like something at the end. So we'll see. I'm sorry, I'm really hot. And yes, after that I am really excited because I'm going to start A Court of Frost and Starlight, like finally. and then I will be like almost completely caught up on my buddy reads and ready to read A Court of Silver Flames next month. So we are doing great. Yeah, I am gonna go eat dinner and then finish Spark to Shadow. Hey, okay, so can I like back up? I'm filming this on my bathroom floor. I'm already upstairs for the night and Michael is playing video games, so I don't want to like have him yelling in the background, which you might hear anyway. And also I'm gonna do a facial in a second, so we'll just I finally finished Spark to Shadow by Atima. It was great, and I actually just had someone like find me on Twitter because they realized that I am reading Spark to Shadow and enjoying it, and am doing the book tour of TBR and Beyond, and they didn't know there was a book tour and they love the book, so I like made a new bookish friend thanks to this book, which is awesome. And I'm really excited. They said that there should be more books so in the series, and I could definitely see, because there's a lot of side characters where like their story, like their arc is kind of closed off. Like it's enough that like everyone kind of gets a happy ending ish, most of them. And so there wasn't very much pain, like a little bit of like bittersweet pain, but not like a lot of pain, so that was nice. But I could definitely see like those side characters getting arcs, or like stories about them like raising the next generation, or like adventures with the dragons. So I will say like this book is advertised a lot to do with dragons, and dragons really are not a huge part of this book. I would say this book is more about race if you're going to talk about the creatures, and more about like the romance and like some other things involving that, or like the like political intrigue between the clans. It's a very interesting book, but I just don't feel like I would maybe advertise it as like dragon riders. That's just my opinion. But if the series continues, I definitely think future books will be more about dragons, from my hypothesis. But yes. So now that I have finished that, it was literally right here. Now that I have finished that, I'm going to start A Court of Frost and Starlight, and I will be starting that in exactly 10 minutes, a little less because I'm listening to Where Dreams Descend on 1.25 speed. I have 10% battery left. So I'm going to finish the chapter of Where Dreams Descend, and then I will be halfway done with that. Hi Caroline. I really assumed that I would like Where Dreams Descend, but I'm actually just like mildly interested right now. So I'm not really invested in the characters. So that makes me not care about the plot. And so sometimes I have to like rewind 15 seconds because I spaced out. So not loving that. But very excited to get to start this. I'm not expecting to love this because I heard that it's just really smutty and there's not really any plot, and that's not what I'm super into. But I'm really excited to finally get this over with. So I can officially say in 10 minutes that A Court of Silver Flames can be on my June TBR, and I won't have to move it for like the 4th time. So that will be really nice. What else? Wild Woman in the Blues. It's interesting. There's more of a plot with Bessie now, and so I like that. But I am like halfway through, so I'm not going to say anything because it would be a spoiler at this point. And then Fern and Flame, we're learning like more background information on Avery, and so I'm glad about that because I really just like, this has nothing to do with the author. Like, I think the description, like the writing is great. It's great. Like, published book great. And I just don't really connect with Avery. So like learning about her past is good. I still love the side character so much. And what is the other book that I'm? Cast in Firelight. I'm enjoying the plot. I think there was some sort of miscommunication with Delacourt Press, and they may have been advertising it as, or like heavily implying that it was an Own Voices book, and it's not. So I don't want people to pick up Cast and Firelight thinking that it is an Own Voices book, which personally I thought that as well, and I don't know why. I've seen Own Voices reviews giving it like I've only read like 3 reviews for each side of this, and they gave it like 3 to 5 stars. And if they rated it badly, they were saying like they just didn't like the plot or the characters, and it didn't have to do with the culture or it being based on India. And then on the other side, Own Voices reviews as well are saying that it's completely inappropriate that the culture is being used. So I don't really know. Like, I clearly do not have any say in whether that is acceptable. So I guess I'm just going to disclaim in my review that, like, you guys should really read the Own Voices reviews over mine. I think that's all the books I'm reading. Yeah, because I have A Chorus Rises by Bethany Morrow, but I've only read like the prologue. I totally forgot what happened with this main character in the last book, and now I feel really shitty that I was like, oh, I love her, because I totally forgot. I don't really remember anything about A Song Below Water, honestly, because it was like mid-2020. What? But apparently the main character of this book was like the main villain in this book, according to reviews I was reading. She was the main villain in the last book. I don't remember that. I don't remember anything about her. I thought there were other antagonists that were like the bad people, but I can't remember it all. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting to read going into it with a 0 memory, so yikes. But it's a spin-off and not like a direct sequel, so hopefully it's chill. Yeah, why not? Why not wash my face? You guys want to watch me wash my face? Is that like weekend vlogging content? Quick update. Not much has happened. I finished the 50% of Where Dreams Descend, and I started reading the ebook in bed, and then I think I got like another section done, and I started reading A Chorus Rises just because that's the only other ebook that I had that's like a current read sort of. So yeah, so I started reading that and I fell asleep instantly. I'm just so confused. I can't remember anything about the first book and like what happened, but like I'm not invested enough to go back and like reread the first book. So maybe like with a recap or something of A Song Below Water. I am doing sprints with MAYsianathon, and Stasia and Elle and Aaron are hosting it today, so I'm trying to get as far as I can before the readathon ends, but we have like 15 minutes left. I'm gonna read most of today too because it's really rainy.